Hello, hello. Welcome to yoga. It's a gray day. We're going to start slow and low. Slow and low. I'm representing. I'm wearing my GCC t-shirt, which I love. It's super comfy. Everybody should get one. They're pretty cool too. So glad to be here with all of you, the GCC staff and faculty and admin and my fellow colleagues. We're going to settle into our practice today. Easy cross-legged position, classic opening. You can have your hands on your knees, palms up, palms down, or gently in your lap. Go ahead and center your shoulders over your hips. And if you feel comfortable doing so, closing your eyes. Otherwise, just kind of have a soft internal gaze. And we're going to settle in here. And I think we're going to do a nice triangle breath. So we're going to do a 4-count inhale, a 4-count holding of the breath, and then a 4-count exhale. So if you imagine it's kind of a upside down triangle, 4 counts up, 4 counts to hold the breath, and 4 counts to bring yourself back in to complete the triangle. So here we go. Let's take a nice deep breath together, just kind of settle in. Out through the mouth. Sigh it out. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Let's take a 4-count inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Last time. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Doing those kinds of counted, focused breathing patterns helps us just really focus on the breath and nothing else. Let's take a nice deep breath in and let's release the hands. And as we inhale, let's take the shoulders to the ears. Inhale through the nose, inhale through the nose. Get those shoulders as high as you can to the ears. And on the exhale, let's just let it all out through the mouth. One more time or 2 more times. Big inhale, shoulders to ears, higher, 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 and release it last time. And good. Beautiful. We're going to take the hands to the knees and inhale. We're going to arch, look up and round, and look down, scooping the pelvis, letting the chin drop to the chest. Inhale, arch, look up, and round, look down. Keep going with that. Slow and steady. Inhale with an arch and round with the exhale. I just realized I need to check something on the sound. Make sure that we're operating correctly. Good. Keep going. Slow and steady with that breath. Arch as you inhale and round as you exhale. And then you can add, if you feel like, a little sideways rib cage circle tracing to the right. You can add the arch and the round in there. So when you come through the front, you can look up. When you go through the back, you can look down. So we're just slowly warming up the spine. Try the other direction. Good. And let's take a nice deep breath in, scooping those arms up and all the way by your ears. Lengthen on top of the hips, through the waist, through the rib cage. Drop the shoulders down the back. Feel that length and the rooting of the hips into the mat. Take a nice deep breath here one more time. On the exhale, go ahead and let that left arm come down to the mat. Look under the armpit, stretch. See if you can drop that elbow down. Breathe here, opening up that chest. Rooting the opposite hip. And go ahead and drop that right shoulder forward and just rest your forehead on the left knee. Maybe do a nice soft, gentle rocking side to side with the forehead. Reach both hands forward, rooting the pelvis down into the mat. Feel that amazing stretch in the right lower back. Just release into it. And then slowly kind of walk your hands to center and then walk your hands back up. We want to go really nice and slow here. We don't want to get dizzy. Inhale, reach those arms up. Find the length. Lift the belly towards the spine. Wrap the rib cage down. As you lift through the waist, drop the shoulders. Inhale, exhale, all the way over to the right this time. Left arm is up. We're looking under that left armpit, rooting the left hip into the mat as we drop the right elbow down. So many opposing energies here. We're opening up the chest, dropping the scapula, rooting the hip, and trying to surrender. Good. And then reaching and letting that left shoulder fold forward over the knee, forehead dropped, spine really stretching as we lift the belly button towards the spine. Walk the fingertips a little further away from your body on the ground in front of you. If it feels good to kind of slowly rock a little bit here, you can do that. Breathe into the places that feel tight. Breathe into that left lower back. And then slowly walking the hands forward and slowly walking the hands up to seated position. Go ahead and extend those legs and shake them out. Give them a little rub down. Just kind of get that blood going, circulating, and then cross them again with the other leg in front. I have no idea which one I did. Usually you go to the one that feels most comfortable the first time. So go to the one that you feel less comfortable. And then we're gonna take a nice deep breath in one more time, all the way up. And this time we're going to come forward about 4 or 5 inches. We're going to exhale down. And then as we inhale, we're going to almost imagine someone's pulling us forward on that diagonal, lengthening our torso. And then we place the hands down on the floor in front of us and we just release into this delicious stretch. Just breathe here. You might want to sigh it out. Heavy head. Still reaching and lifting that belly button towards the spine. And you'll see when you do that, you automatically feel a deeper stretch in the lower back. Conscious breathing. When you're ready, slowly walking those arms back up. Let's take the hands behind, fingertips pointing forward. Go ahead and open up your knees a little bit. So maybe your heel is touching your back ankle. Squeeze the shoulders behind you as you drop the chin to the chest. Inhale, and then exhale, just lift the pelvis off the floor. Let the head drop. Oh, feel that delicious hip opener there. You might not get very far off the ground. That's okay. Let's just take a couple breaths here. This is a very intense stretch. And release all the way back down. Good. Go ahead and extend the left leg and keep the right leg tucked. You see my foot there. Yeah. So my left foot is flexed. Again, put your shoulders right over your pelvis. We're going to inhale, sweeping those arms up. On the exhale, we're going to place our left hand down the leg and reach that right arm up and over as if we're trying to touch the toe. We might not get anywhere near the toe. You can, if you want, grab the toe with your left hand, pointy finger and index finger, and kind of pull yourself. Now, you can stay here, or if you want, you can take that top arm and wrap it around your back. So the back of your palm is on your back, and use that as traction to even open up further the chest towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Taking that arm, releasing it, and slowly recovering. Let's just go ahead and right away lift that knee, bring ourselves kind of centered. Take that left arm up, wrap it around the knee, cross the body. Lift the right arm up as we inhale, lengthen the spine, and then just do a gentle twist against that knee. Make sure that this shoulder isn't up. I have the tendency to kind of prop my fingers up and then the shoulder comes up. See if you can really drop the palm down to the mat and then create some space between the chin and the shoulder there. Keep that left foot flexed, activated. And we're not twisting hardcore right now. We're at the beginning of class, so this is just a little wake up for the spine. Good. Gently open up that leg. Before we do the other side, let's do a little V stretch. You can point or flex the feet, whatever you want. Take the arms and just trace the line of the legs. Take a nice deep breath. Let the torso kind of billow forward, and then just lay the torso down as you kind of lay the arms down on top of the legs. Oopsie. I guess I didn't silence my phone. Sorry about that. So we're in a V stretch, just kind of hanging out. This is a really challenging stretch. If you've got tight inner thighs, tight hamstrings, tight lower back, so you may not get very far. Heavy torso. Just be gentle here. And do what feels good. Sometimes it feels really good to me to just kind of sway as if my pelvis is rooted down into the mat and my torso is like seaweed, like at the bottom of the ocean. And then I like to slowly bring my torso up as I sway side to side like seaweed. It feels like a self-massage there in the spine. Go ahead and tap the left foot into the inner thigh, flexing the right heel. Inhale, both arms come up, shoulders are over the pelvis. Exhale, right arm comes down. You can hook into that toe if you want. And then we're reaching the left fingertips towards the toe. Oh man, snap, crackle, pop goes the spine. Now reach that left hip down into the mat. You can stay here, or you can wrap that arm behind you, back of the palm to the back, and then use that to open up a little further, the chest towards the ceiling. If that hurts your neck, you can look down, but still try to keep the shoulder reaching up and the chest opening, even if you look down. Breathe here. And release that arm, and then slowly release your hook, and then bringing that knee all the way up, sitting on the sits bones if you need to remove the flesh a little bit there. Inhale, right arm comes up and wraps. And then another inhale, there's an exhale in between there, by the way. And exhale into your stretch. Again, see if you can drop the palm to the mat, open up the space between the chin, the ear, and the shoulder. Gentle spinal twist. Go ahead and let that leg come out again. One more V stretch. And this time, let's do a little kind of dancer rainbow. You guys know I love this one. We just kind of sway right to left. You can have pointed feet if you really want to get into your dance. Or what I like to do also is flex on one side and then point on the other, because then we're warming up those ankles and the feet don't get a lot of attention. Always trapped in shoes. So let's work our point and our flex, flowing into our body and recover. Let's come onto our hands and knees, onto all fours. I've got my blocks today. I'm hoping to incorporate those at some point. So if you have blocks, you can grab them. So let's just do our nice prayer and cobra mobility flow, just to get the hips a little moving around here a little bit. We've been kind of seated and cross-legged, and the hips need to be juiced up. So let's just moving between prayer and cobra. And then if you want, you can add a little push-up after cobra. You can just come up to all fours and then just do a little push-up and then back into prayer. Trying to generate some heat here so we can get into more active poses. Last set, little push-up. Good. Let's put ourselves down onto our forearms and let's come into half plank. So we're going to come into this half plank on our forearms. Check yourself out in the mirror. Is your butt up? You really want your butt dropped. Pressing out of the shoulders. Breathe here. This is a great way to generate heat. I mean, right away, I feel the sweat coming. And then go ahead and drop those knees. And let's open them wide and push back. And this time, instead of regular prayer, we're going to actually drop the chest to the mat and the chin kind of goes forward. It feels weird, but it's a different kind of stretch. Yeah, good. Coming back to all fours, we're going to lift that right leg off the ground behind us. And we're just going to tap the heel to the butt as far as we can and then extend. And then heel to butt. So my foot is flexed. Really pressing through the hands. Root the base of the thumb in the mat. Don't let yourself sink down just between your shoulder blades. Press out of those shoulders into the mat. Activating the glute and the hamstring here very gently. kicking that butt with your heel. And then the next time you kick, stay there and let's just stamp the ceiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Bringing that back. Tuck the toes. Lean back. Booty on your heels. Shake out those wrists, top to bottom. Shake it out. And come on back. Extending the left leg. Foot is flexed. Heel to booty about 5 times. Now, of course, you're engaging your core, right? So your core is your silver platter, holding everything else, holding all of your spine and your back muscles. Slow and steady, contracting that hamstring and the glute, heel. And the next time you come in, 5 little stamps, nice and slow and controlled. 4, so I'm really activating that left glute. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Tucking the toes. The weight goes back. We're stretching out those feet. Shake those wrists out. Good. Coming right back. This time we're going to extend the right leg behind us. And then we're going to bring it to the side body. So I'm bringing it to the side and then I'm tapping my toe and lifting, coming back and bringing it in. Try the other side. Left leg comes up, foot is flexed. I bring it all the way to the side and I tap the big toe on the floor, lift and send it back. Very controlled and very focused. Right leg, side. Now when you do that, you want to keep those hands and arms lengthened. So try not to bend one elbow or contract too much in the torso. You want to keep the torso pretty locked and loaded, nice and long and lean. Let's do 2 more on each side. Right leg extends. Side, toe tap, and back. Feel how energized the side of that leg is when you bring it to the side. You feel the whole outside part of your leg all the way up to the glute really gets engaged. Last time, don't forget to breathe. And last leg. And released. Good. I was laughing to myself because shake out the wrists. Jason always describes this as a relaxing yoga class in his description. I was keep thinking the other day, it's kind of relaxing, but it's hard. So maybe we should tell him to change that. That was challenging. All right, let's do our pranayama, 20 breaths. I'm on my knees. You can do it seated or standing. Inhale, look up, reach up, exhale, down through heart center. Play with your timing. Activate that core life force, that breath. Here we go. Three more. Last one. Interlace those fingers. Stretch the palms to the ceiling. Walk the shoulders up the ladder. Release. Shoulder circles. Nice and slow. This is a really great stretch to do any time of day. Shoulder circles, inhale, reverse the circle. Beautiful. All right. I'm going to go ahead and have you come back to all fours, but right away we're going to extend the legs and come into down dog. So find your down dog. My mat is bubbling here. Don't want that. All right, find your down dog. Tread the feet one at a time. Walk the dog. Good. Let's take that right leg off the ground and just circle the knee around in a circle in one direction 3 times. And then the other, gotta loosen up those hip joints. And then try the other one. 3 times and then 3 times in the other direction. Good. Lift that right leg up in the air. See how high you can get that leg. And then swing it through. And let's just do a nice runner's lunge here. Twist it out. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. But I really want you to activate the back of the knee that's lengthened and the glutes. See how that changes the pose? Can you work your inner thighs towards each other? Can you activate the inner thighs towards each other? Hand comes down to the mat. Bring the back leg a little closer. We're gonna come into pyramid and then back into lunge. Pyramid and lunge. And pyramid, and let's just stay here in pyramid. Pull that right hip back. Big breath in. And stepping that leg all the way back into down dog. Treading the feet again. Big breath. Inhale, left leg. See how high you can get it, keeping the left hip down. Swing it through. And twist the left arm up. Tight glutes, inner thighs engaged. Hand goes to the mat. Bring that back leg a little closer so you can kind of come into that pyramid. And then back into lunge 3 times, moving between these 2 poses. And then the last time, find yourself in pyramid and just kind of hang out. Breathe. And then step that leg back. Down to down dog again. Let's come into plank. Hold plank 3 breaths. And you can do a full chaturanga or half chaturanga, coming down, chest to the floor, pulling the mat towards you as you lift the top of the head for cobra. Coming back down, pushing up. And let's take a nice wide prayer. Knees come wide. And release. Take the hands to the right. And to the left. And back to center. And come up onto all fours. And we're going to do 3 push-ups. However you want to do those, on your knees in full plank. Just nice and slow. Down and up. Down and up. Down and up. Beautiful. Pressing back, walking the hands all the way back, pressing into a standing forward fold, drop the chin to the chest, and just hang out here in forward fold. Maybe you want to wag your tail a little bit, shake out the head no or yes. Big sigh here. Bending the knees, rolling vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way up to standing. Good. Grab some water. Let's do a few standing poses. Let's take that right leg off the floor. Just kind of shake it here for a second. Kind of let the ankle go. Cross that ankle on top of the thigh, the opposite thigh. And let's come into a one-legged chair or the number 4 pose. So I'm sitting, my sits bones back, my torso is forward slightly on a diagonal. Just hang out here for a second. It's also a really great glute stretch and a hip opener. And just recover, bring that thigh right back up to the chest. And release, good. Try the other side. Left thigh to the chest. See how high you can really get that thigh to the chest. Place the ankle on the opposite leg. And then coming into one-legged chair on the opposite side. Pressing the knee down towards the mat, flexing the foot to protect the ankle. Core is engaged. And then recover, bringing that thigh nice and high. Everything else is loose and release. Awesome. All right. I was thinking it might be nice to just do some simple sun salutations today. We really haven't done those in a while. Maybe just like 3 sets. Maybe 1 just totally simple and then 2 with like a few poses in there. Sound good? Come to the back of your mat. Big breaths. Find your mountain. When you're ready, take a nice deep breath in, sweeping the arms up, looking up. Exhale, dive through those arms into forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, release back into forward fold. And then inhale, walk the hands out and feet out into down dog. Exhale in down dog. Inhale, come into plank. Exhale, chaturanga, all the way down to the mat. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release back down. Inhale, push up and out into down dog. Bending the knees, looking between your hands. You can jump or walk the feet forward into forward fold. And then roll through the spine up to standing. That felt good. Let's just do that again. Inhale. Reach up. Look up. Exhale. Dive. Inhale. Halfway up. Exhale. Halfway down. Inhale. Step into down dog. Exhale. Down dog. Inhale. Plank. Exhale. Chaturanga. On your knees or full chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Push back into down dog. Inhale, look between your hands. And exhale, forward fold. And roll to standing. And recover. just as a little moment here before we do another more rigorous set, let's take a quad stretch. Grab the outside of your foot, tuck the pelvis and send the top of the knee to the mat. Lift the left arm. See if you can push the top of the foot into the hand so you're activating your arm. And then when you're ready, if you want, you can stay here and that's perfectly fine, but you can also go into dancer pose. So you want to push that foot a little further into the hand, tilt the torso over the leg, lift the leg, and then recover back through that quad stretch and then release. Fun, huh? Let's try the other side. Quad stretch, and it's perfectly fine to just stay in quad stretch because this is a balancing stretch too. Tuck the pelvis, send the top of the knee to the mat, spread the toes wide in the mat. This is a really challenging pose. If you want extra challenge, try the dancer pose. You want to try to lift that thigh a little higher, body teeter-tots kind of forward. And then, of course, an extra challenge is to come out of it without falling. And there's been plenty of times when I have fallen, so. All right, let's do 2 more sun salutation sets, and I'll add in a few standing poses. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, dive. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, down. Inhale, walk those hands out. Down dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, lift the right leg off the mat and exhale, swing it through. Drop the back heel and come up into warrior 1. Hips are squared forward. Find your powerful warrior 1. The pinky side of the left foot is really rooting towards the mat. Beautiful. Maybe look up a little bit. Let's go ahead and lift that back heel. And as we lift back heel, bring the hands to prayer and cross the body and then come into a twisted lunge. Looking down at the mat in front of you, push off that back leg and reach the left hand in front of you as you lift the left leg off the floor. Twisted half moon. That's a challenge. And let's bring the hands down to the mat, into the lunge, and then step back into down dog. You can stay in down dog, or you can do your flow through chaturanga, cobra, and then push up into down dog. Step or jump your feet forward into forward fold and roll to standing. Now, as you can see, when I jump forward, I don't get my feet all the way to my hands. That's just the way it is for me. Some of you might be able to get your feet all the way to your hands. Even if it's just a small jump, it's an added power move that you can put in or not. Last time, here we go. Inhale, reach up, exhale, dive. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release. Now, if you ever need more breath than what I'm saying, absolutely give yourself more breath. Sometimes you need 2 or 3 breaths in one breath that I'm stating. Inhale and lift your left leg up. Exhale, swing it through. Drop the back heel and come into warrior 1. So the tension of opposites here is that we're trying to keep the pelvis forward, but we're rooting that pinky side of the right foot down. So that wants to make us open, but we're energetically trying to keep the hips forward. Now it's anatomically kind of impossible to keep them perfectly square when our heel is down on the mat like this. But that's kind of the challenge. Now we're gonna lift the back heel, bring the hands to prayer, and flow right into twisted lunge. And sometimes we fall and we get back up again. Energy in the back of that knee. Okay, something's happening on this side. All right, here comes our big challenge. We're looking in front of us. We're shifting the weight onto that left leg and lifting the right leg off the ground. The left arm comes up. And then the last thing, the last challenge is we try to open up the chest and the focus. I think this is actually like a twisted triangle with the leg up. It's twisted half moon. Oh Lord, bring the hands back down. Come into the lunge. Step back. And it's last time. If you want, you can stay in down dog, or you can do your chaturanga, your cobra, your down dog, and then you can step or jump the feet to the hands, come back into that forward fold, and then bending the knees, roll through vertebrae by vertebrae to come to standing. Well, I haven't used those blocks yet, so now I have to. I've got it. Let's come down. If you have a block, grab it. If you don't have one, you don't need it. Coming onto our back, we're going to take that block and put it between our knees. And we're going to squeeze the block. Yeah, so already you're activating those inner thighs. Let's just take the knees off the ground and toe tap. And knees to the chest and toe tap. Are you squeezing the block? So this is just a nice activator. You can even put your hands down on your lower abs and feel them working, especially keeping that block. Find the breath pattern. You might want to exhale as you bring the knees up. Inhale as you lower. Or you might want the opposite, whatever feels right to you. Good. Bring the feet down and just let the knees fall side to side and keep the block. What happens? It's interesting. Kind of tilts a little bit. Good. Bring the your feet back. Keep the block nice and tight. We're going to inhale. The hands are going to be by our sides of our head. Inhale, exhale, reach up so that bring your upper body off the floor. Inhale, holding here. And then on the exhale, we're going to squeeze the knees and put them back and release. Inhale, exhale, come up halfway. Inhale, hold. Exhale, come up higher and squeeze the knees to the elbows. Inhale, recover. Keep going. Squeeze all that stale air out on the exhale. So you should be moving for as long as you can exhale. And as soon as you can't exhale anymore, that's when your inhale begins. And release. Good. Drop those knees. Let's take the block out and let those knees just kind of roll side to side and give yourself a little lower back massage there. Should feel good. If you want, you can hug the knees to the chest for a minute. Good. So I'm going to give you a couple of options here on this next one. We're going to hold the block in our hands. You can have the arms bent and the knees bent. We're going to inhale. On the exhale, we're going to come up and put the block between the knees. And then we're going to exhale and come back down. Is that right? Yeah. Inhale, come back down. Exhale, put the knees between the block. Inhale, come back down. Exhale, pick up the block. And inhale, come back down. Now you can continue that. Another option is to extend the legs and extend the arms. So you inhale, and on the exhale, you come all the way up, place the block between the ankles, and inhale down, arms above the head. Exhale up, inhale down. Whatever version you're doing, you always want to exhale as you come up and inhale as you come down to the floor. And release. If you want, you can also do one with the knees bent. And then one with the legs straight. And one with the knees bent. Last one. And one with them straight. Fun with the blocks. All right. One last thing with the blocks. Now, if you don't have a block on this, the movement's going to be really, really small. You can do this just lying on your side. But I'm actually going to have my torso on the block. So the movement is, let's stack the lower leg in front of the lower leg in front of the top leg. There we go. So if you're lying on the mat, this movement up is going to be very small, but we're going to do a little crunch and then a release. Crunch and release. I've got my block basically right below the rib cage. It shouldn't hurt. If it hurts, move it somewhere, either higher or lower. Let's just do 5. Exhale on the crunch. Good. I want to show you, switch sides. I want to show you what it would look like without the block, because you might need your bottom arm to be straight and your top arm to be bent. Because if you have both bent, it's kind of awkward. So straight lower arm, and then you see how small that movement is? I mean, I'm barely getting off the ground without the blocks, which is hard. The blocks actually just make it look cooler. I don't think they make it harder. All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Challenging. All right, yogis, let's come back onto our backs. I was thinking the other day, it might be kind of fun to hold a bridge and then see if we can do some interesting things with our arms. So let's find our way into a bridge. Pressing the pelvis all the way up as high as we can. So while we're here, to take our focus a little bit off the pain, but I really want you to keep those glutes tight. Let's see if we can inhale with the arms up, tapping the back of the palm to the mat or the floor above our head, and then exhale down. That's kind of nice. And bring those hips down. Beautiful. Let's hug the knees in. So we'll do a second round of that. And I would invite you to play with your arms, maybe doing a little scissor arm or some kind of pattern where you do both arms and then maybe a sweep. Play with the arms on that while we hold the bridge. All right, let's see what we come up with here. Set yourself up. Big inhale, exhale, coming up, squeezing those glutes, but releasing the knees. You don't want to grip in those knees. And then maybe bringing the arms up and finding your pattern. One more set. And lower them down. Yeah, we need to be playful with our poses. Sometimes we get so locked in feeling like we have to perfect a pose, and that is not what yoga is. Yoga is a practice. It's a practice of mindfulness, it's a practice of body flow, body control, body compassion. Take the legs up in the air and just kind of let them fall open, circle the ankles. One thing came to my mind while we were doing that. Let's try one more thing. Being playful with our bridge. Hands down by our sides. We're going to inhale, exhale, coming all the way up. Big breath here. Take a nice inhale. And on the way down, let's tip the right hip down, the left hip down, like we're dipping the hip down and down. So it's kind of like a flow on the way down, and that's really going to get your oblique core moving and your back engaged. Let's try that again. So you really want to get as high as you can because you want to be able to dip. So really come up into that bridge. Big breath here. And then exhale, dip the right hip, dip the left as you bring the hips down to the ground. Ooh, kind of fun. Let's try one more time. And press up. Now let's, instead of coming down, let's just dip and stay up. So dip, lift, dip left, lift, dip right, lift, dip left. Oh Lord, this is something. Right, up, left, last set, right, dip, left, dip, and down. Thank you so much for playing with me. Hug those knees. Wow, that was hard. Yeah. So we're really kind of focusing and isolating muscles there. Working outside the box. Go ahead and let's just cross the left leg over the right and let the knees fall across the body and give yourself a little spinal twist here with a little hip opener, hip stretch. Ooh. Oh, wow. Yeah, really release. And when you're ready, come back to neutral. Twist and retwist and let the knees fall to the other side. Really come down slowly with control. You can hurt yourself. You're really warm now, and you don't want to whack knees down to the floor too quickly, and then something sort of pops. Breathe in the twist. And recover. Happy baby. Grab the outside of those feet. Little rock and roll. Sigh. Inhale, take that nice big stretch. Toes away from fingertips. Inhale. Hold the breath. Squeeze everything. And then release. Swallow, remove the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Stick out the tongue. Say, ah. It's nice to hear our voices at the end of our practice. Come into Shavasana. Deep relaxation. Whoa, it got really dark. I guess it's getting dark these days. And we will play a little piece of music. Go ahead and stay in Shavasana for as long as you like. We will close our practice here. If you find that you would like to do so, you can come to seated, hands at heart center, with appreciation honoring the work that we've done. We came, we showed up to ourselves, to our practice, to our minds, body, spirit. And the spirit in me salutes the spirit in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming. Shoot me an email, amacbean@glendale.edu, if you like what you see, if you want more, less, if you have questions, if you're curious about anything, I'm here for you. Love to hear from you. See you next time.